It all begins at this moment when our Saiyans were fighting the androids. The story takes a different route than the one of the main timeline, and here where it changes. Bulma, who's the smartest person on Earth and the mother of invention, invents a new device, a remote device to be exact, that disables the androids. She gets it to Gohan, but he needs to get near them to finish the job. And if I'm gonna be honest, she could have done that in the main timeline. It's not just could have, she should have. Since she's smart, she has everything that she needs to make that happen. It's a sad story that we didn't see that happening. The main goal of this story, I'm gonna get to soon. You can skip through the chapters if you want, but the story is just interesting. 17, when he hears that, he attacks Bulma with a ki blast, which Gohan deflects. But in doing that, he throws the remote. At that exact moment, Tien comes flying at Bulma. 18 threw him at her, but Gohan gets back. He jumps to catch the remote. 17 is there also. He kicks it away when he should have just destroyed it. Everyone and his family jumps trying to catch that remote, but the one successful at that mission is Goku. As soon as he gets his hand on it, he instant transmission away. Though he's not that happy, since the remote is just an easy way to deal with the androids. It's not fair. The androids are in distress. We can see that on 17's face. He says, "Don't come near me, or I will destroy the earth." Goku, on the other hand, can't teleport to him since he can't feel his energy. And if you didn't know, the androids don't have a signature energy, you can't feel them. At that moment, 18 is underwater in the lake. She charges her ki and throws the water at them all. They're all now wet because of her. The remote is broken. She broke it. Or to be exact, Goku broke it, since he could have just flew away. And this is where Goku changes the timeline. What he did here is the reason that everything changes. Now when they think that they are doomed, Bulma said that she sent the plans for the remote to every scientist on Earth. And in time, they will make a remote control that works long distance to take out the androids. So there's no point in taking the Saiyans or Bulma out. 17 yells that they have to get rid of all of the scientists everywhere. But it's 16. He says no. He won't allow him to do that. He still didn't take out any human yet, and he doesn't want to let him do it. But 17 says if we don't do this, they will do it to us. Which Krillin says, well, no. If you don't go on a rampage, we won't bother you. And if you want a good fight, I'm sure Goku will accept anytime. We all know Goku. He accepts and he wants that. 18 is not on board with that yet. Krillin continues and says Vegeta and Piccolo were bad guys once, and Goku let them live and they became his friends. That's because he trusted them and he believed in them. The same thing that he wanna do with the androids. He says that it was an awesome fight and he wants to do it again tomorrow, which 17 agrees to. And now they become friends. The androids stayed around. Goku, Vegeta and 17 liked being sparring partners. After a while, the cyborgs became part of everyday's life. Eventually the whole group was getting along. Even Goku surpasses his limits while training with 17, and Krillin falls in love with 18. Trunks, on the other hand, goes back to his time with a new remote with a larger range, because the androids were still stronger than him and were too far down the path of evil. He uses the remote on them, but as he was going to tell his friends, Cell appeared and took him out. Cell took the time machine but went back further in the past. Because of that, he created yet again another timeline with a much different story, the one that we all know. This story dives into a part of Dragon Ball where one small change and one small act, to be exact, changed the whole future. This is not what happened in the main timeline. The main timeline was a lot different, but this is a story that explains what will happen if something changes? What will happen if an act, a feeling, a decision was different? What if a butterfly never flew? This concept of different timelines isn't something new to the Dragon Ball universe. It's not the first time that we've seen this phenomena. The whole aspect of the future Trunks timeline and arcs, where that future Trunks lived in the future, but when he went back, he created and changed the past, which gave birth to a new timeline. A timeline is a flow of time and events that depicts that period. While there's different timelines and multiple timelines, in the Dragon Ball history there's the GT timeline, the end of Dragon Ball Z timeline where Goku trains with Oop. The Dragon Ball Super superhero movie now is in a different timeline, since the manga where it's going and where the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie is, it's a lot different and it depicts a lot of different things, which makes it different. Let's take it as an example. Gohan achieved his beast form because Goku wasn't around. Goku wasn't around because he was training with Vegeta. Because of that, Whis was busy and didn't pick up the call from Bulma. And this is what led to Gohan achieving his beast form. Now let's go back. What if Goku wasn't training with Vegeta? What if he picked up the phone? Then Gohan wouldn't achieve his beast form. Piccolo wouldn't be like that. Everything would have been done with quickly. But this happens because of the different timelines that were created. The whole aspect of different timelines and timelines changing is in fact just one small thing that went differently, which created a new stream of time, a new future and new possible events, feelings, characters. Look at the Dragon Ball Super manga. If Goku and Vegeta took out Broly, then the future wouldn't be the same. If they beating Granola and weren't his friend and just took him out and gave him to Frieza, everything will be different. If Frieza didn't arrive, it will be different. And it all comes back to one point and one center point to every scenario that's happening. And that's our Saiyan. Goku, since he's the main character, it all revolves around him, it all is spinning around him. His actions are what shapes the future. Vegeta, Piccolo, Frieza, Jiren, there's a lot that I didn't name, but they are all here because of his own decisions. And what shapes the main timeline primarily and what stays in it is the decisions that Goku makes, not anyone different than him. For the most cases, there's cases that are different, but for most cases it's his decisions and his way of life that shapes the timeline. And this story showed us a bit of that. And not just the story, there's a lot of fan mangas that depict different sides of the story, different sides of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Heroes is a good example of every timeline in the Dragon Ball universe clashing together. Look at this. See in this photo how Goku is an Omni King. He's wearing his wear. See at this moment, at this exact moment is when Dragon Ball Super ends. This moment is when he's entrusted of ruling over everyone with the power of everything. In this moment, he becomes the ruler of everyone and everything. The ending of Dragon Ball Super is gonna be like that. When Goku at the end achieves the power of the Omni King, when Ultra Instinct is not enough and he needs something else, this is when Dragon Ball Super ends. If we look at the ending of Dragon Ball GT and Z, those endings were just like this one, when at their separate universes where he achieved his ultimate goal, the story ended and there was nothing to do after that. And this is when Dragon Ball Super ends. It's just gonna keep on going and going and going till he achieves the end goals, like finding the One Piece or Naruto becoming the Hokage. I know there's Naruto, but no one watches that. And every hero has his dream, and this is Goku's. And this photo symbolizes that, symbolizes the time, the effort, the long journey that he went through. It symbolizes that one day, this is the end of him. This is where he's gonna reach. And I'm confident in him that he one day will wear the Omni King's wear, will become on par with him. Maybe not the position of the Omni King, but someday train under him. So yeah, tell me, what do you think? Do you think Goku will reach this point? Do you think that this is the end of all of his journey, or is there something else? And here's a quiz. In your opinion, did Goku at one point in time was the strongest being in all of the Dragon Ball universe? Meaning, from all the beings that we know of, like in the Cell Saga we didn't know of the existence of Pierce, so it doesn't count. So was he at one point the strongest in all of the universes or not? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.